Was Jesus a feminist? This is a great question because there is a whole set of religious studies scholarship devoted to answering this very question. Feminist theologians, for instance, look at the stories where women take the lead in the biblical narrative, places where women serve as catalysts, places where God is portrayed as feminine, places where women are oppressed or marginalized, or their role has been minimized by male writers. They take all those stories and they shine a light on them so that we can understand more fully what those stories tell us about the cultural context and about God. There are other branches of feminist theology as well. Take, for instance, womanist theology, which is black feminist theology, or mujerista theology, which is Latinx feminist theology, and other cultural branches which bring a perspective that help us to understand God more fully. And quite frankly, understand things that straight cisgender white guys like me would miss. And it's extremely valuable. Was Jesus a feminist? Well, that's interesting because we didn't really have those terms, obviously, in Jesus's day. But if we're talking about a feminist as an advocate for women, then Jesus certainly was. He stood on behalf of those who were oppressed and marginalized, and women certainly were in his context and often are today. We can look to the stories where Jesus is funded by women, primarily where Jesus has women disciples, women followers. Some of his most loyal followers are women. Mary Magdalene, his mother, Mary and Martha. And we see that Jesus has these followers, and he often breaks social norms with them and others. Think, for instance, of the woman who washes Jesus' feet with her hair. That was extremely scandalous in those days. And feet are often kind of a euphemism for sex. And so touching someone's feet was very scandalous. And so Jesus was always breaking the barriers and he was standing on behalf of women. So was Jesus a feminist? Yeah, I think he was. And I think one of the reasons that I can say that is because I've read a variety of feminist, mujerista, and womanist theologians who have helped me to understand that and to understand God's feminine nature.